Welcome back to Coffee Cup Moments. My name is Rebecca and I'm so glad that you joined us today. Basically today I want to speak about a scripture in the Gospel of Matthew. It comes from chapter 12 verse 38 and it says, "Then some of the Pharisees and teachers of the law said to him, 'Teacher, we want to see a miraculous sign from you.'" And so my word for you this week is, have you become a Pharisee? Now, I know that this might be challenging to some of us, but basically, Jesus was talking to the Pharisees in the sense of it did not matter how many signs or wonders that they seen. They had already made their mind up that Jesus was not who he said he was, which was the Messiah, the chosen one, the one that God sent back to save us. And this is a danger that I think that we can have in our walk with God. Jesus came to reestablish our relationship with him, to bring that intimacy, to bridge the gap between God and ourselves, that we would know Jesus in order to know the love of the Father. And that was basically to reestablish a trust and a faith in who he said he was and who God is. And I think as children, we have a tendency sometimes to stamp our feet or to jump up and down when we don't get our own way. And I don't think it's a bad thing that we ask God for miracles and signs and wonders sometimes. It's something that as a dad, he wants us to see his love. And if we are suffering, if we have ailments, then obviously he wants us to be well, to glorify him in everything that we go through. But if we are demanding signs and wonders in order to have that foundation of trust for our relationship, then this is something that we have missed with what Jesus ultimately intended for our relationship with him. And actually, if our love is based on performance, if you have, not committed your heart to actually what Jesus asked of us, then actually, are we loving Jesus at all? And I think that this is what I feel with regards to this scripture, that we can become a Pharisee, that we are demanding from God constantly to show us signs and wonders. And I think it's wrong for us to treat our relationship like a business transaction. God, you do this for me and I will do that for you. It's not that at all. Love is basically a two-way thing. Jesus sent himself, or God sent Jesus to die on the cross for us. That is the ultimate sacrifice of love. And so God in return is looking for our hearts, that intimate relationship with him and not a business transaction. If all we are interested in is what he can do for us, then I think we've missed the gospel completely. Demanding for God to perform, in order to win our love is something that I think we cannot do, because if we have tasted and seen Jesus, if we have an intimate relationship with God, or if we become a Christian, then we know who Jesus is. It's that scripture that he knocks on our heart, and it's up to us whether we decide to open that door. But I don't want to be a Pharisee where I'm expecting God to perform in order for me to go deeper, a deeper level of intimacy with him. When we ask God to come into this world, or when heaven collides with earth, it's not about the signs and wonders. That's kind of like a bypart of heaven coming to earth. It's more about the intimacy that brings from the presence of God. It's all about the intimacy and what happens when we feel God and we know him and we see him working intimately within our lives. That's where trust and faith is built, that we are building that relationship constantly with him. And so I think we need to be on guard, that when we ask God for things, that are we actually asking because we want to glorify him, or are we asking him because we are demanding that he performs for us and that builds our trust? Relationship is all about connection, and God wanted us. He wanted us since the earth was formed, or before the earth was formed, before the foundation was formed. And so I want us to ask this week, why is it that we ask for signs and wonders, and have we actually become a Pharisee? So that is it for today. I really hope that it spoke to you. Please don't forget to like and share. Also, comment below with regards to how that's spoken to you. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and I look forward to seeing you here next week.